I'm going through the book by Joseph Pilates entitled Your Health, chapter by chapter, and this is chapter 2, titled Health, a Normal Natural Condition. In this chapter, Joseph Pilates has pictures of his students in what he considers to be normal, natural, good posture, and 3 pictures of himself demonstrating good posture, and then he also has 3 pictures of himself demonstrating what he considers to be poor postures. And I think this is really important to understand about Pilates and how Pilates movements are done. There's the same end goal to Pilates movements, this perfect balanced body and this perfect alignment and posture. And I think this is why it's really important to consider working with a teacher if you aren't already, because how do you know that you're doing the exercises right? I enjoy doing Pilates on my own, but I also check in with teachers to make sure that I am working on developing that perfect balanced Pilates body. So I'm going to go through 5 different ideas from this chapter. If you read this chapter, you may pull out 5 different ideas, and I would be interested in knowing what those are. But let's get in. Point 1. Joseph Pilates says that health is a normal condition achieved by following laws of nature and is a birthright. Now, I think that when someone is born, there's a certain capacity to health that they have that might be determined by their genetics and the health that they're born with. But if someone doesn't try to find out what their normal condition is or what their capacity is, they'll never achieve it. So I think that's important to consider, that there might be a cap to what that we can achieve, but we don't know what our potential is unless we try. The second thing that I pulled out from this chapter is a question Joseph Pilates asks of how many have experienced what life really is. And I think Joseph Pilates is really talking about life from the standpoint of things being really good. And so how we define life could change how we answer this question. And I can say that I think I've experienced a few years of really amazing life. But during those downtimes, I would say I have been very thankful for Pilates and the resilience that it's given me to get through some of those extremely hard times and those challenges. Joseph Pilates, this is a third point, blames modern systems for the health state of society. And I think we still have modern systems that aren't helping health in society. That might even be worse than in Joseph Pilates' days, because we're exposed to so much. We have chemicals, electromagnetics that we're exposed to, intellectually, mentally, and emotionally, we're exposed to so much with access to the media and the internet and cell phones, which Joseph Pilates didn't have. So there's so much more for us to process. Point number 4 that I pulled out is that time, money, and intelligence don't lead to health. But that time, money, and intelligence may not be able to be enjoyed without mental and physical health. And I think he has somewhat of a point here. Can you enjoy life without physical or mental well-being of some sort? I think there's a point where it gets very difficult to, and then there's an area where it's possible. I believe that life has intrinsic value, whether we have mental health or physical health or time, money, or intelligence, that none of those things change our intrinsic value. But it might change quality of life. Point number 5. Joseph Pilates pretty much says that some of the fitness equipment and practices in his day are nonsense. And research has shown that some of it may not be nonsense, but has different outcomes. So for example, a weight machine in a gym is working specifically on strength training, whereas Joseph Pilates' system is working on those natural, right, and normal habits found in nature. So Joseph Pilates is a little biased towards his technique. So those are 5 points that I pulled out from chapter 2 of Joseph Pilates' book that stood out to me. What points stood out to you? Like and subscribe to follow along for chapter 3. May you move well.